See you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, good luck.
Meet Thibault and Valentin, two Frenchmen who came to London after a road trip in Latin America where they came up with an obnoxious idea to launch a male accessory brand in the capital of male fashion.
When we arrived in London, we needed to have good suits, so we found a tailor in East London, very nice, very traditional and very British. One day Thibault asked him something not so traditional, which was a regular suit with a double-breasted waistcoat.
And he told me in a very English manner, well, I suppose if one was to be a fop, that's how I would go for that's how I would go about it. So I was like, all right.
And then we were like, we didn't know really that word fop, and he was like, just England is quite a classical country, you know. Okay, so it was his way of telling us, you silly froggies, don't do stupid things with my suits, please.
So the first lesson of British fashion was learned. The suits are not to be taken lightly. But there was a way to work around it, and they created Monsieur London, a store where contemporary dandies could find accessories to give a wild twist to their classic suits.
Does it help being French in London when you work in the fashion industry?
Our only thing being French is that maybe we can allow ourselves to be a bit more different from time to time.
There's certainly a bit of a perception of the French people being in love with their cheese, with their wine, with their cooking.
With themselves.
With themselves. And we certainly are a bit of everything that I just mentioned. I think we're lovable. We're considered as lovable people, apart from the arrogance, of course.
How does your brand mixes together this Frenchness that you've just described with sort of the classical English dandy style?
I think it's in the choice of colors, in the choice of shapes. We do things a bit differently, and it's also I think a way of not thinking of ourselves too seriously.
You've got to understand the classical rules. But if you want to do something that is your own, then you need to know those classical rules to probably work on the edges of it.
Is it the first time in your life you're wearing braces?
Actually, I was playing with some of my grandpa when I was young, but today
Do you see yourself, would you walk out of the street and go down the street like that and, you know, go on a date with a girl?
probably, I don't know. Maybe not this pattern, but
yeah.
but I like, no, I think it's a good style.